What is a true-up cost? A simple question, isn't it? Well, the answer is not that simple, and it really depends on the context. But before we answer that, we need to understand what a true-up is. And in the context of an enterprise agreement, it's an event, it's a process that precedes the event, and actually a true-up is a right and an obligation to Microsoft, which is stipulated by the enterprise agreement. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 2 quick tips about compliance and cost savings around true-up. As your consumption grows throughout the year, you don't have to rush buy licenses as and when you deploy them. You just need to report to Microsoft the growth in the end of the year. And that is the true-up event. That end-of-year event when you report to Microsoft your growth. You true up your licenses. So here's the first answer to the question, what is a true-up cost? The true-up cost is the cost of all these licenses. Although, wouldn't it be more correct, more precise to say it's a cost of a true-up, not a true-up cost? Another instance when the collocation true-up cost may be used is when someone refers to the cost of a license when you true it up. And here's a quick dive into the financial side of the enterprise agreement. See, the licenses that you buy in the very beginning of an enterprise agreement, the cost of those licenses is split into 3 annual installments. And because software assurance is compulsory and software assurance is maintenance, it's an OPEX cost. It's also paid in 3 annual installments. Each time you pay for 12 months of software assurance. Now a question arises, if I buy a license, if I true up a license, in the end of the first year or a second year, or actually by the end of the enterprise agreement, in the end of the 3rd year, do I have to still pay software assurance for 36 months? No, you don't. What you pay at a true-up is a one-off payment. It's not split anymore. It's a one-off payment. And each year it decreases. But it's also not prorated. It's fixed. At each true-up, you pay for the remainder of the enterprise agreement, plus 6 months backwards. So if you true up in the end of the 1st year, you pay the full price for the license plus 30 months of SA. Then if you true up in the end of the 2nd year, you pay full price of the license and for 18 months of software assurance. And at the end of the 3rd year, you only need to pay for 6 months of software assurance, not forgetting the price of the license itself. Now you may become curious and start thinking, how do I know how much do I need to pay exactly in pounds, dollars, rubles, rupees? The answer to the question is in that green document, the CPS, the customer price sheet, that is supplied with every enterprise agreement. The document that everyone, despite losing all the other enterprise agreement paperwork, still keeps because it's very important. The document that the procurement people give to me as a proof of entitlement when I ask about it, which is not really proof of entitlement, by the way. If you buy a license in the very beginning of an enterprise agreement, its price is fixed, but you're also given that information about how much it's going to cost you when you true it up each year. That's where you can look that up. Apparently, because the price of a true-up decreases, it's very tempting not to report growth to Microsoft until the 3rd year and only true-up in the end. Don't do that, because Microsoft don't audit much recently, but if they do, but you can still use that math to your advantage. If you delay deployment of something until you true up, do it 1 day after. You can save 12 months of software assurance costs. If this is the first video you're watching in my Enterprise Agreement series, here I've linked the first one, and here I've linked the entire playlist. And I sincerely hope you'll subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell, so when I post another money-saving tip around Microsoft licensing, you don't miss it. Thanks very much, and save with knowledge of Microsoft licensing.